Welcome to James Hates Everything, everybody, and we have a great stream for you tonight. Of course, we have a week's worth of crazy news, but before we get into all that, we're being joined by Steps Gaming live from the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. She's here to talk about Give Kids the World Village. So let's just get right into it, shall we? Hello, Steps. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm here in Portland. It's the end of the day. You can barely see it, but I found a Mario background. But,
Excellent. That's
at least we
pretty
got
cool.
something.
Photo ops.
Yeah, yeah.
How have things been going out there? I know you've been out there, what, for 2 days already?
Well, I've been here since Wednesday afternoon, and I went to Washington State and went to Mount Rainier and hiked, and my legs are still killing me because I hiked 2.5 miles uphill. And I actually got a video coming where I hike up the mountain and talk about video games. It's going to be really something different. It's going to be something cool. I hope you're all excited for it because it's going to be new.
Excellent.
Yes.
That sounds fun.
And then obviously the expo, I was here Friday getting ready. And this expo is kind of different because Friday is just kind of getting ready day. The arcade's open. But I met a lot of cool people. I got to talk to them longer on Friday. And then, I got to talk to them again today, but it's much quicker. So I'm glad I met some of these people on Friday. I can't tell you, this is the coolest retro gaming convention you could possibly go to. Everybody and their brother that you know from YouTube or gaming or whatever is here. You know who I met today?
Who's that?
I met David Crane, the person I interviewed that invented Pitfall and was one of the founding fathers at Atari, and then went over to Activision, founded Atari and Activision, or I founded Activision with Gary Kitchen. I met Gary Kitchen as well.
Wow.
They were
That's
both
awesome.
there. They're going to be in my video. I can't wait. And it was great to thank him in person for that interview that was on my channel. And tomorrow, Nolan Bushnell is going to be here. And that's going to be, he is actually the father of Atari. And
Yeah.
he's the father of Chuck E. Cheese. And so I can't wait to meet him. And lots of cool people. Obviously, a lot of times people have met Kitzrow, the guy that does NBA Jam. Of course, he's here.
Yeah.
All the Mortal Kombat people are here again. They're at all the expos. I met Riggs Gaming, John Hancock, Happy Console Gamer, Metal Jesus. Everybody's here. The event's huge. If there's a gaming console, it's probably at some booth. I saw somebody bought an Odyssey in the box today.
Nice.
They're walking around with a boxed Odyssey. I don't even know really what that is. I just know that Papa Brad had one because his family couldn't afford an Atari or something when he was growing up. And I was like, I know what an Odyssey is. And so it's just so cool to be here. And I really think if you haven't been here before, no matter where you are in the United States, next year, find a way to go, because this is the creme de la creme of retro gaming events.
Yeah, and it's certainly up in Seattle. You have like a mecca of not only stores, but a lot of retro gaming YouTubers and obviously Nintendo's up in the Seattle area. And so you just have a ton of, classic gaming people out there. I think Sierra was even out there in the Seattle area back in the day. So lots of the founding fathers of of video games, right, running around out there.
There was this one lady here today that would look like she was a grandma, and she's wearing a shirt that says Nintendo Redmond. And I start talking to her, and I'm like, do you work at Nintendo? And she's like, yes. And she told me what she did now, but I said, what did you do originally? And she said, I was a game counselor. So she
Nice.
she was the one that you called the 1-800 number to get Nintendo tips. And she's just here walking around the expo. It's really interesting.
So she was the one with the big binders who would answer that 1-900 number. That's awesome.
Yeah. I saw Brooklyn said Puyan. I've not seen a Puyan arcade here. There's lots of arcades, lots of them, but no Puyan.
That's
unfortunately.
disappointing. Gotta have a Pooyan. So I
Oh,
heard you guys had a little fun this afternoon. Can you tell everybody kind of what happened out there today?
it was around 2 o'clock p.m. Right? I'm running the booth by myself because my coworker at the Give Kids a World Village booth, she was unable to be here from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. So the bulk of the convention today on the busiest day. So I ran the booth, and she's gone. It's 2 o'clock. I'm just starting to get some decent donations, and somebody pulls the fire alarm. I'm guessing. I'm guessing that's what happened. I was talking to the excuse me, Tim Kitzrow, the NBA Jam guy. He told me somebody ate a bad burrito and he was on fire. And like I was like, no, I think somebody pulled the fire alarm. And so I got some good commentary from the NBA Jam guy. It'll be in my video. I can't wait.
That's excellent. Can't wait to hear that. Well, thankfully, it was false alarm or a whatever, somebody just horsing around and not anything serious, and you guys were able to get back to it and start raising money for such a good cause. So why don't you tell everybody, in case they haven't caught any of the other streams or aren't familiar with this organization, kind of what they do and
Yeah.
what you're out here
So
raising money for.
so Give Kids the World Village is an organization that is a non-for-profit. And so what we do is we partner with organizations like Make-A-Wish. So like if a child has like a terminal or critical illness and they wish to go to Walt Disney World, which is one of the more common wishes. It could be Universal, it could be SeaWorld, doesn't matter. But obviously Disney's the big one. And so what we do is we get the child and their families, a hotel, a resort that's designed specifically for these families for a 6-night, 7-day vacation. And we work with the amusement parks or theme parks and make sure they got tickets to go where they want. They wake up in the morning, they're fed, they get all their meals. If the kid's like, I want ice cream for breakfast, they get ice cream for breakfast, right? They get basically whatever they want. And it's just one of those vacations where we make sure all of their ends are met. Good to see Michael B.
Yeah, so that's excellent. I mean, everybody knows it's always tough to have any family member dealing with a critical illness. Um, but it's especially tough. It's like the toughest thing you'll ever go through when it's a child. And so anything that can bring happiness to these kids, to these parents, is a really, really big deal. And so, I hope everybody here, we've got links to donate in the description. We've got it pinned in the chat. Jason just dropped another link in the chat. Really appreciate if anybody out there will, if you can afford it, please give whatever you can give. You can give one-time gifts, or you can give monthly gifts. Why don't you tell us about kind of uh, what
Yeah,
options there are for people?
yeah. So you can donate as little as $1 and as much as you want, really. And you just go in there and do a one-time donation, and it starts at it says 95. You can delete that, put whatever you want. So if you're like, I just want to donate $5, you can donate $5. You want to donate $20, you can donate $20, right? So today at the expo, we were selling raffle tickets for 10, so they were editing it to 10. I don't have an online raffle, so just donate whatever you'd like, whatever you can. And if you are, you really like the cause, you want to donate monthly, you could do that as well. It's all an option. I am just looking to do as much as I can for the organization and make the retro gaming community look good. I'd like to have more viable options. I was talking today with Ryan Berger of Old School Gamer Magazine, and he was talking about having us come, next year to Midwest Gaming Classic. I'm like, all right, I can't do this every month. I could do it once or twice a year, but not, So I don't want to wear it thin, but I want the community, to be looked at as a caring community and someone that loves Give Kids a World Village, right? That's the goal. Not to overdo it, but at the same point, do a lot of good.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I think that would be a great idea to go out to Midwest Gaming Classic. I think it's considered one of the top, if not the top two, retro gaming conventions in the country. It's been going almost 30 years, or just over. They had either their 25th or their 30th anniversary this past year. So, and it's a massive convention. So a lot of opportunity there. You got people come from all over the country just to go to that one because it is so big.
I could drive to that one.
Yep.
It's in May. This one's in September. But, you know, they're kind of spread out enough to make sense. But we'll see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen. Hopefully, this went really well. I do know that we made more than what the value of the prizes we were donated. I'm already at that point, and we still have tomorrow. So we're
Yeah,
good
that's excellent.
there. I do not know what we've done online total because I think their offices are closed for the weekend. I will get that number. Hopefully they'll let me know and I can let some people know. But yeah, online's open and they will definitely look at it and we'll figure out how successful the event was.
Excellent. Well, I wanted to take a moment and show one of the videos you've shown on your stream
Sure.
from this organization, just to give everybody some idea of what they do, what the money goes to. So let's take a look at that. As soon as I can click play, that is.
So yeah, that's the resort for the children to go stay at while they're visiting their attractions in Orlando.
Yeah, I guess we don't really need the music loud. There's no words.
You can go ahead and mute it. It's fine. I mean, it's showing what we need to, right?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, this place looks amazing. I can only imagine as a kid being able to be there.
Yeah. I do know a lot of people have shared the link, have sent comments, things like that. I've tried to respond as many as I can, but like part of the issue's been, obviously I've been very busy and I haven't been able to respond to everybody. So I just want to make sure I thank everybody that have donated to the mission of Give Kids the World Village. It means a lot.
Yeah, you got
I
a
think
lot of supporters in the chat, rooting you on for all you're doing for this great cause. So congrats, man. That's huge.
it's awesome. I'm so happy that everybody has seen a good cause. Like I said, I experienced a parent that had a child firsthand that had terminal illness, and I just want to do the best to give back. And it's something I wanted to do, and it just happened. I didn't plan to go to Portland. I never thought I'd be in Portland. You know what I mean? And here I am in
Absolutely.
Portland. And Michael B, the Game Genie, you guys have to make a year that you go to the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. This is the expo to go to. Everybody anybody is here. It's crazy amazing. You need to come.
Whoops. What did I do here? I hid the wrong thing. I'm trying to hide Cyrus there. Yeah, I mean it's pretty crazy convention over there. And there you go. Look, it's trying to feed me Michael B. Like
Yeah. So, man, I'm so glad it took about a half hour to get everybody back in for that fire drill you were talking about. And then things picked up after the fire drill. We made a good amount of money after the fire drills. I don't know if the fire drill helped us or hurt us, but it is what it is.
Yep. Yeah. Well, hopefully, like you said, hopefully it wasn't too disruptive, and if anything, it got people something to talk about and build up some hype, so that when you came back, everybody was willing to open their wallets and have a good time.
Yeah, so right now, there's 1 million people over there playing Tetris. It's like some sort of Tetris World Tournament. Chris Tang is here, the former Sega World Champion. And I think he's hanging out in the Tetris area. I'd like to meet him, but I haven't been. He's probably been in the Tetris booth the whole weekend.
So Blue Scooty is probably there. I've met him at a couple of the Tetris World Championships. He's a young kid, maybe 13, 14 years old. He broke Tetris earlier this year. I don't know if you saw that. He's first
Oh yeah,
first
I remember that.
player ever to get to basically get it to crash at the very end and wipe the thing out. So since he did it, now several people have, but he's the legend that is Blue Scooty. So if you get a chance to meet him, yeah, he's a good kid. Usually his mother takes him around to these things. I actually got to meet him when he was here in Kansas City in December, which was before he broke the record. So it was pretty interesting to then see he was the kid that did it. It's funny because he carts around uh, a little TV with him along with a console so that wherever he is, he can sit down and start playing and practicing. Like the kid lives and breathes Tetris, as do most of those people that are in that
They got to.
competition.
They're over there. They're all sitting there just playing Tetris. I'm like, why is there 100 people playing Tetris?
Oh
And
yeah.
then there's another area where it's like Pac-Man for whatever reason. I don't know. Arcade 1up's not even here. It's Pac-Man. And then there's a pinball. There's a pinball that's supposed to be ending around 8 this time, so it's ending pretty soon if it hasn't already. And some of the pinballs are blocked out for that, including some X-Men tables.
Excellent.
And
So the new ones from Stern.
it's awesome. I played a good deal Friday. I don't think I'm gonna get a chance to play today. I'm glad I played it Friday. Unique pinball table. Really, really enjoy it, and I can't wait till you guys to see it. I'm betting it's at Chicago Pinball Expo, so you all will get to play it.
So
Yeah.
Brooklyn wants you to go break something. He said, go knock something over, find a giant Jenga if you can find one and knock it over.
Right now it's all the only thing that's open is the arcade and these tournaments. I will tell you, Ed Soft's somewhere near playing games. I just saw him playing Super Smash Brothers in the console area. But other than that, you know, it's winding down, but the arcade is packed. Like most of the machines are taken. It's not as loud as yesterday, luckily. So I could possibly walk around if you guys want me to. Yeah, it's time for the arcade. That's basically what we're doing right now.
Excellent. Well, I mean, I don't want to take too much of your time if you're wanting. I'm sure you're exhausted being out at cons and being on all day and having to run a booth. I know is exhausting. But if you're up for it, I know we'd love to see it. But
sure, I can get up and do it.
Once you get back, you're good.
I'll go walk over to the X-Men area across here, and I'll show you the X-Men because it's a pretty big area, and I think the ones that are blocked off are not part of that. So I could do that. And I can kind of show you that Tetris area too.
Oh yeah, it's interesting that they're doing that right now. I know out at SoCal Gaming Expo they had another Tetris World Championship there in June, and what's his name? Dang it, Jake Paul showed up to compete in it and created a whole big hubbub.
Now I'm limited on what I could hear since I came in here, but let me figure out my camera here. Whoops, we don't want that. Let's see if I can rotate this sucker. There you go.
Nice, they got the whole setup going.
The big sign. We got lots of X-Men. I love this because when it falls back, you can try to save it.
Yeah, that's interesting with the flippers offset like that. When they first announced it, it was certainly intriguing.
It's a premium.
And it's sold. Somebody bought it.
What'd you say?
I said it's sold. Somebody picked it up.
I think they're all marked sold because they're just not available yet. I think it's a preview, right? I don't know.
Yep. Yeah, Calvin, this is the new X-Men from Stern that just came out.
It's pretty cool. See, it's hard one-handed. It's hard.
It's nearly impossible.
Yeah, it is. It's nearly impossible for sure. But you can see they're hopping over here in X-Men area. It's packed. There's even more X-Men. Look at this. X-Men, X-Men, X-Men.
Did I hear you say
over here?
Wow. Did I hear you say earlier that Atari had a giant booth out there?
The what's over here?
That Atari had a huge presence out there?
Yeah, they do. I could kind of show it to you, but it's closed. But it is viewable. There's Deadpool, John Wick. Foo Fighters. Now, the one table that I played that I was kind of disappointed in was this Jaws Pro. I didn't like it that much. The premium looks a lot better. I don't know if any of you played Jaws, but it was not as good as X-Men, in my opinion. But over here is Atari. See, it's right here. See,
That is
and
a huge.
Atari's over here, behind over there. It's
Yeah,
huge
that's a
Atari.
giant area, and of course they're
Yeah.
selling their clothes.
Uh,
Brooklyn wants
I
to
got.
know if they had Avatar there.
Yeah, there's no Avatar. It's only Stern that's here, and then personal collections. So, like anything over here, I believe this is all personal collections. You know, there's still some Sterns in it. This is a Capcom. I didn't know Capcom made a pinball. Capcom Break Shot. Have any of you heard of that?
Not me.
Obviously, the Foo Fighters, the Tron, Stern Tron.
Oh, that's
Legacy.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's off the second movie though, wasn't it? Maybe it's not that cool.
These are tournament play only. So, some of them are older, some of them are newer. There's a Metallica, and obviously some older games. There's a Black Knight, right? And then over here is the console area. Look at all these console games. Look how large it is.
Can't believe how many people are in there playing them. Usually when I go to these cons, those tend to like be fairly empty. That's pretty busy.
Oh yeah, I was in there last night. I was busy too. I was playing TurboGrafx. I played Crater Maze. I never played that game before. That's pretty cool. Obviously we're getting into the arcades now. These are all personal collections as far as I know. Just people look at, oh my gosh, that's one of those original Ataris.
Oh yeah.
It's not on right now, but dang. That's computer space. That's not, you don't see that too often. Look, the Berserk's got the actual, no, that's not the right one. There was another Berserk that had the actual right stick, which I rarely see. Zaxxon, Golden Axe. Now, here's what everybody wanted. Their 6-player
Yep,
X-Men.
6-player X-Men right there. Yep.
Yeah, and it has the name of the people that brought it in. But
they just got one of those today at an arcade right by me. They got one and it's minty.
Yeah. This one looks pretty nice. I mean, the art's not perfect. You can see some marks right up there, but for its age, it's pretty nice. You know? Afterburner, Time Pilot, Joust. There's your OG Mortal Kombat. The artist is here from the OG Mortal Kombat. He's here again. He's at every convention, though. But
yeah,
he's awesome.
Him and the NBA Jam guy, right? They're at all of them.
Well, the NBA Jam guy said he only did 4 cons this year. I think last year he did a lot. I was talking to him earlier. He goes, I only did 4 because he had some reason for it. And this is one of the 4. Hyper Fighting. The better version of Street Fighter 2. Much better in Champions Edition. Here's your Sinistar.
Yeah.
I know everybody loves their Sinistar. Looks in pretty good shape. There's a Zookeeper and a Karate Champ. And then somebody likes Mappy, right?
Yeah, I like Mappy. That's awesome.
Look at that Mappy.
So does
marquee.
Galaga Guy 88.
That is
He's a big
huge
Mappy fan.
marquee.
Yeah, that's the standard edition.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, now there's somebody else excited about the Mappy now too. And everybody's favorite, Miss Pac-Man. We all know that's what you want.
100%. Yeah, Jason says Mappy makes you happy.
Here's your Big Red, Neo Geo. I don't know much about Space Encounters.
Yeah, that's pretty cool looking.
This is out of order. Cartoon Movie Corner? Unfamiliar with that. I don't know much about this miniature Bubble Bobble. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's fun. Are you gonna play?
Yeah.
Oh, look, he's gonna play.
A new
You're
competitor has
live
entered the
on James
building.
Hates Everything.
Hey, how you doing? I love this game, but it sucks it's on this machine. It's on the tiny one.
This is for toddlers.
That's the new arcade 1UP. That's the big news.
I mean, look, there's like
You
doing
have to
squats.
stand at them exactly the same.
I mean, this is like more difficult than an arcade 1UP. That's pretty cool. Brooklyn Sands a new arcade 1UP machine.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Man, please no, we don't want these. Not this small. What is this? This is like half
Yeah, it's
size
got to be
maybe?
half scale, yeah.
Yeah, we got a police force pinball. This looks pretty, like it's gonna pretty sharp. Flashes and everything. Now
It's
here
got
is
that police line banner across the top. That's pretty cool.
this is, look at this.
Food fight.
Look at this food fight. This is sharp. So
Yeah,
far
that
it
one's
looks
in
pristine.
really good condition.
Yeah, that is great. I've never heard this song before. Commando. Here's your missile command. Wow. Tetris. Like we don't have enough Tetris. There's your OG Dragon Slayer.
Yeah, that's nice.
Phoenix, Stargate, Galaxian, another Galaxian,
There's a few Stargates in there. That's
another
interesting.
Zaxxon, Qbert. We all know who loves Qbert.
Yeah, he's in the chat wondering what the new arcade 1UP is. So hopefully he saw that new Bubble Bobble because that's got to be it.
That's the announcement from Arcade 1UP. The Bubble Bobble half size. Dig Dog. Raiden 2. We haven't even shown like I haven't even shown like a third of the arcades, and they're saying it's impressive. There's more. Tubin.
Yeah, look at that. That's sweet looking.
And obviously a pretty sharp looking centipede that he's playing. There is the speed buggy. Here, what was this? Pole position over here? Yeah, pole position 2. Super Mario Brothers. Kickman, Stargate. And then I think I forgot like I don't know what this Popeye game is. It's like a strength tester.
Yeah, that's weird. That's some redemption company.
Yeah. Here is what you want. This is the special
Yeah, that's a
announcement.
claw machine
It's the arcade 1UP claw machine.
with some Miss Kitties in it, or Hello Kitties, not Miss Kitty.
And then you got your Space Invaders, the new version, of course. Your Time Crisis 5. This is gigantic.
Oh,
Look at
that is
that.
huge.
I'm
I would not
unfamiliar
be
with Sega D8. It looks Japanese.
Oh yeah. I would not want to be the person that had to bring those in.
It's what? It's Edsoft.
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
What, do you want to give your review of the Sega D8?
It's amazing. The presentation is just awesome. I can't read a single thing. It's all Japanese, so yeah.
It's a Japanese?
Yeah, the whole thing's in Japanese.
How was your day at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo?
It was awesome. It was exhausting, that's for sure. But it was awesome.
Did you sell some of your games?
Yeah, we actually did, yeah.
Awesome. Circus Interstellar.
Yep.
And it's great because if you like the arcade game Berserk and you like killer clowns from outer space,
then this is the game for you.
I mean, look at this awesome T-shirt. Rise of Circus.
Yeah, we just made these, and we're gonna. Apparently, a lot of people like them, so we're gonna probably make some more on our website. Yeah.
Awesome. So you're on James Hates Everything.
What's that? What?
You're on James Hates Everything.
Oh,
he promised he would not hate your game.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Awesome,
Check it out.
awesome. Yeah, a lot of people you know are in the chat. So.
Oh, you're live right now.
We're live. Yeah,
What's
we're
up, guys?
live. Yeah. So are you gonna have some swag to sell when you get back from the expo?
Yep, we're gonna put it on our website, on our online store page. Yeah, unless we completely sell out. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
You completely sell out, huh?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
You sold a lot of physical games today.
Yeah. We sold quite a bit. It was actually surprising, and the raffle worked out really well too. Yeah. At first it was like really slow burn, but then it started like picking up towards the end. So, yeah. Super excited. So.
Awesome.
Can't wait for tomorrow.
Thanks. You've been watching there's Tetris over there.
Yeah.
Hey, are you participating?
Heck
No, you don't have time.
No.
You're busy selling stuff.
Well, I would lose anyway.
I
There's so much
suck
better
so
than much at Tetris, and like, those guys just make me look like a joke. Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm looking at them right now. We have to go over there and show that.
Yeah.
Thanks for making an appearance.
Absolutely. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Check out this Tetris. Look at this.
Yeah, they are going.
Up. Can you see this?
Yeah. Look how fast those are moving.
These players are legit. Look at all
I
this
can't
Tetris.
tell, but it kind of looks like Blue Scooties in the left corner of the far screen.
Yeah.
It's a little small, so for me, so it's hard to tell if that's him or not, but it kind of looks like him.
I don't know if you guys see enough there or not, but you
Yeah,
can
that's
see
really
there's
cool.
lots of Tetris. Lots of Tetris. Oh my gosh, look what I just found.
Another arcade 1-up.
It's the Sega. Sega! Look at this.
Little track and field cocktail table. That's awesome.
Yeah. Did Brooklyn say to tell them to save a physical for him?
He did.
Okay. Hey, Brooklyn Menace is commenting in the chat.
Oh, yeah?
He wants a physical copy of Circus Interstellar.
Yeah? We'll set it aside for you, man.
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. There you go, Brooklyn Menace.
Cyan Spirits wants to know if you've seen Cyrus walking around in there with all those arcade 1-ups.
No, I did not see any Cyrus. You know,
He's
I met some really
still
cool
missing.
people today, but nobody from Arcade 1-Up, thankfully.
Shocker.
Look at this. We got a Taito Egret 2. That's cool. This is a signed Yar's Revenge.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen the arcade version of that.
And then we got the OG World Warrior Street Fighter. That's awesome. Defender. Oh, we got a real Bubble Bobble. It's in a Nintendo cab, though. Is that normal? I don't remember Bubble Bobble being in a Nintendo cab. There might be multiple versions, though. Your Donkey Kong. Centipede again. Another Miss Pac-Man. Galaxian. Frogger. Xevious. And check this out. We got all of these Egret 2s over here in a Blast City, Sega Blast City, Super Monkey Ball. So.
And they have a wide variety there.
Lots of really cool games.
See a Simpsons back there.
Yeah, there's the Namco Quick Crash. I don't know much. It looks like it's a shooter.
Yeah, I haven't heard it.
More of these cocktail tables. It looks like Space Invaders. Pac-Man, obviously.
Balloon fight?
Like?
Yeah.
Oh, this is a Nintendo.
Yeah, it's the red tent. Is it? Yeah, it's Balloon Fight. There's a guy here in my town selling one of those. I wonder
if you could change the game. I don't know. Right now it's Balloon Fight. So, Balloon Fight. It says versus Super Mario. And then this side This is supposed to be Excite Bike, but it looks like balloon. What is it? Balloon Fight? Balloon Fight. Quick and Crash. Sonic Blast Heroes. Have you heard of that game?
I have not. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah. And then we got Sonic Championship. Looks like it's on a Blast City. It's a fighting game. Sonic Fighters. Gauntlet Dark Legacy on sale for $1,800. Must be picked up Sunday. So if you're near the area, you want it. Unsure
Only
what
a
this
short
game
drive.
is. Anybody know what that is?
I do not. You're going to need the Google Translate to figure that one out.
Yeah. There's your Simpsons. And here's everybody's favorite, the Champions Edition. Champions Edition, Big Blue. The Big Blue's
speaking
nice.
of that big announcement, there's a Big Blue.
Bad Dudes and Dragon Ninja. Hey, exciting new Pac-Man Plus. I know how much you love that one.
That's my favorite. Hey, does it have wood on the side? Oh,
No,
shocker,
it's
it
a
doesn't.
regular Pac-Man. Look at that.
That's a sweet one.
Indiana Jones Temple of Doom. We have a Marvel Superheroes, but it's running, not a CRT. Killer Instinct also not running a CRT. This particular Mortal Kombat 1 looks really nice. No CRT. Primal Rage. This game
Twin
is
Cobra.
great.
Yeah.
I love this game. Twin Cobra. This is one of my favorites. Right here. These you don't see too often. I've seen one at Galloping Ghost in Chicago. And everybody loves Golden Tee. And look what it's got.
Yep. Got that whole LED thing, and it's
got the topper. Pretty
Is
cool.
it Golden T4 or is it like Golden T99?
It's Golden Tee 3D Golf.
Oh, there you go. That's the actual replica that New Wave Toys is releasing, right? So there you go.
That one's a Golden Tee 2K. And then we got Cruisin' Exotica. A Hydro Thunder. An Off-Road Challenge. An Out of Order Cruising the World. And oh my God, we all know that Michael B. the Game Genie regrets getting rid of his Arcade 1-Up Tron. But here's a real Tron that works.
That one looks fantastic.
It looks nice. Look at it. Nice stick. Spinners, nice and heavy. I like it. It's sharp. More Defender. You got a Tempest. Oh, here we go. Star Castle, Scramble, Carnival.
Carnival, yeah.
There. Now we got our Rocky and Bullwinkle pinball.
Put it in your truck. Hurry.
The better version of Jurassic Park Stern.
Is it what's the leaf count on that one? Do we have lots of ferns or
The leaf count on what?
What's the leaf count on the Jurassic Park? How many ferns are on it? Because we know hot designs for Jurassic Park is ferns.
There's 1 fern, 2 ferns, 3 ferns, 3 or 4 ferns on the marquee.
Jason wants to know if you've seen a Scramble or a Super Cobra.
Scramble? Who's back over here?
Yep, there you go.
This is an old Stern.
That marquee art is awesome.
That's nice. I've never played this before. It reminds me of a Flying Moon Patrol.
It does.
I don't know. Hard to play one-handed. Got Transformers. You only live twice. That's
Star
Stern.
Wars.
Star Wars. I don't know. Have I hit everything yet? I don't know. Did I show you guys Captain America?
The Captain America?
Yeah, over here. I guess I should probably start over at the pinball and go around, I guess.
I didn't know Captain America went to conventions. Thought he was too
Airborne
busy running the
Avenger.
Avengers.
Middle Earth. Space Rider. I remember this when I was a kid. Demolition Man.
Oh, yeah.
This is a great game. It doesn't appear to be working, but I love this game. Zed makes a
Yep,
good
World
version
Cup
of it, too.
Soccer. That's a classic.
Circus Fortier. Stargate.
I love the back glass on Stargate. It's a
San
sweet
Francisco.
illusion.
San Francisco Rush Alcatraz. This is a nice Captain America and the Avengers.
Yeah, that looks in great condition too.
Yeah. And I think I might, well, that might just be another Dragon Slayer. I don't know. I get confused. There's so many of them, you know? There's a Punch Out.
Yeah, Punch Outs.
A Rally X. Carnival by Gremlin / Sega. Don't know much about it. Looks old.
Yeah, it's that a duck shooting game, bullseyes and stuff.
This is a old Pac-Man cap, regular Pac-Man, that was turned into a Miss Pac-Man. Here you go. Here's your Berserk with the original right stick. See?
There it goes.
I know quite a bit about Berserk at this point after that video I made. It's got it's really nice hand painted, all that good stuff.
Thanks, Kevin, for the $2 super chat to Find Cyrus for the donation to the Find Cyrus Fund. But I would request that you guys forego any attempt at super chats and instead donate to that Give the Kids the World Village. It's a good cause, and they could use our help. But very much appreciate it, Kevin.
We got Missile Command again. This is looks a little bit different. You got Riggs over there, Riggs Gaming.
Oh,
right
yep,
there.
Riggs is hanging out.
Yeah. We got our NFL Blitz with Showtime.
Yeah, Broncos win like always. Woohoo!
We got Pac-Mania. Miss Pac-Man out of order. Mortal Kombat 2. Phoenix. Another Dark Legacy. I think it was Dark Legacy we saw earlier.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know if I came through here before or not. Did I? I'm starting to get confused. There's a Play Choice 10 and a Forgotten. No, I did not, because there's a Forgotten
Yeah, I don't
Worlds
think we've seen these.
Yeah, see, there's a Forgotten Worlds, Capcom, a Frogger, a Congo Bongo, Black Tiger.
There's another Tetris.
Play Choice 10 back there. See it?
Yep.
Tetris, Donkey Kong, another Tron.
Yep.
That one's seems a little bit more red for whatever reason. Another Missile Command. Rampage. Here's an original Rampage. Look at this thing.
Speaking of another big release, there's a full-size Rampage.
It was supposed to be original Rampage, but it's running the newer version from the 64.
Yeah, it is. That's not the OG. That's
Asteroids, Battle Zone. That Play Choice 10 is actually running Chippendale's Rescue Rangers right now, which is interesting.
Have you seen the Atari Red Baron? I had never seen that game before, and I saw that it's on the new Atari 50th DLC where you can play it. It's the precursor to Atari Star Wars. Looks pretty cool.
I did not see it here, I don't think. But I've been walking around everywhere so far. Bad Cats, Fire, Guns N' Roses, for sale. Bring it home.
There it is. How much? Can you put it in your carry-on and bring it home? Because I want that one.
I don't think that's gonna fit. That's gonna be a fortune. That's gonna be like one of those like extra large baggages, and they're gonna charge a fortune for it. I came around here already.
Kevin says he dropped a $2 super chat and says he'll donate $5 to the kid. Oh man, I'm tongue twisted. Give Kids the World Village if Steps screams Pooyan.
Okay. All right. Is there a Pooyan everywhere? We want to see the game Pooyan.
There you go.
They're gonna super chat if I say Pooyan. So I'm just screaming Pooyan. Gotta do it. See, there you go. You got your Pooyan.
Excellent.
So I think I showed these, but there's a Addams Family over here.
Yeah, it looks like a ton of fun. That's, some of the best selection of arcade games I've seen at one of these in a long time.
Yeah, there's a Battle Gear 2. I don't know what. Oh my gosh, dude, look at this.
Gilligan's Island.
Pinball.
That's excellent. Sandwiched between two Godzillas, or is that a Godzilla and a Deadpool? I can't tell what the one is on the right. But
What about Godzilla?
I said you got the Godzilla on the one. What's the one on the right of Gilligan's Island? It seems like Gilligan's Island is out of its element with the two next to him.
Yeah, the problem is if you start playing Gilligan's Island, you must play it for 3 hours.
And then it never ends because you get lost, right?
Yeah. Ripley's Believe It or Not. That's cool. So if you want to go for a ride,
Is that Dino the dinosaur?
we got a Battle Gear 2. We got Ryan Berger. You're on James Hates Everything.
Cool.
He's a YouTuber, does a lot of arcade content.
He hates everything.
He hates everything, but he promised he would not hate Old School Gamer magazine.
Yep. And we met at Midwest Gaming Classic earlier this year.
Yeah. What now?
I said we met at Midwest Gaming Classic.
You met him at Midwest Gaming Classic, he says.
I love Milwaukee.
Yep.
You love Milwaukee.
There in April.
April. He's ready to be there. Come see him. Thank you. I'm running into everybody, huh? Riggs Gaming, Ettensoft, Ryan Berger. So, I don't know. Anything else you guys want to see one more time before I let you talk about Arcade 1UP?
No, I think we appreciate you showing us this. It looks like a ton of fun, and hopefully you get some time to enjoy it. I know you're out there, for a good cause and raising money for the kids. So it's appreciated that you took the time to show everybody what's happening out there and talking about this great charity.
Yes, and thank you for having me on, and thanks everyone who shared the link, made a donation, all those good things. I appreciate you all, and look forward to some couple pieces of content from my channel.
Definitely, we'll all be looking forward to it. We got to hear the Steps walk and talk, so we're looking forward to the
walk and talk. It's a hike up a mountain and talk.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool. All right, thank you, James.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. Bye.
Appreciate it. Well, there you go, guys. Appreciate all of you, supporting the charity, and just to give you some idea, here's what that donation page looks like. I am going to donate here in just a minute, but I appreciate you guys supporting the charity, supporting Step. She's really, going out of her way, donating her time to this great cause, and I know we all want to support her in this effort. It's really awesome that she is doing that. I mean, she's flown halfway across the country to support this charity and help them out. So hopefully you guys feel charitable yourself and will help support the kids. In the meantime, let's talk about some of this week's crazy news, shall we? Give me 1 second. All right, allegedly, here we go. All righty, of course, unless you guys were asleep, this week was the big drop of the PlayStation 5 Pro. I think you guys haven't seen it. I have a few videos on it. I was lucky enough to get in, but way late. So I did manage to get after about an hour plus, maybe an hour 15 minutes of waiting, maybe hour 20. I got in. By then, of course, all the pros were gone because those sold out in about 5 minutes. But I did manage to get myself the slim. I don't know why, other than it's, nostalgia FOMO, and I got one of each of the controllers and the portal. So I was pretty pleased that I walked away with that. But others, I don't know if you heard the news today. Obviously, lots of people didn't get what they wanted. They had all kinds of problems when Sony launched this. Some people had cookie issues where they couldn't add things to their cart and missed out completely. But this morning's big news was that a lot of people, not a lot, but there were reports from people all across the globe that had managed to get the PS5 Pro 30th anniversary bundle, which of course was limited to 12,300 for about 100 million gamers, right? So the odds you were getting one was very, very uh, low, to say the least. Each area you maybe had to be one of the to be able to place your order in 2 to 5 minutes at the beginning of the window when it opened. Well, some people were waking up yesterday morning to finding that their orders were canceled. Their banks had, I guess, thought the charges were fraudulent and they canceled them. And then so Sony canceled their orders and is not able to honor any kind of replacement. So those people who thought that they had scored huge uh, ended up being left out to dry, which really has to be a bummer to have that happen. And so it's just wanted to drop that because that's kind of the big news of the week. This huge system launch, along with the regular PS5 Pro, which is funny because that one's still available. As the last I looked today, you could still go on Sony's website and buy it. But those 30th anniversaries went fast. You'll have a second chance at everything but the 30th anniversary Pro through stores on October 10th if you are interested. But enough about that. Of course, those who did get it immediately went out there and scalped it. As I look today, there are people trying to sell this thing as high as $50,000. Never going to happen. But the price does appear to be going up. Over here on the right, you see what people are actually paying, and what started out at around the 400,000 range has gone upwards at the top to $5,200. People paying for this bundle, which is just insane because I think the total cost of the bundle was $12.99. So here you're 4 to almost 5 times that cost. People are paying this. And who knows how many of these people that were selling it ended up having their orders canceled. Yeah, Kevin, you nailed it. Like all these scalpers, it's so disappointing. Papa Brad says, and thanks for dropping by, and thanks everybody else for dropping by. I didn't get a chance to welcome everybody because I really wanted to get into Steps because she was obviously out there using her time to share what's happening out at Purge and to talk about the charity, and wanted to get right into that so she could go and get some rest tonight for another busy day tomorrow. But Brad says he is still happy with his PS4 and really should be. They're still making all the games come out still really on both systems. If you have a PS4 or PS4 Pro, you can even play in 4K on the Pro. So it's a great system, and it's certainly not really outdated compared to the PS5, in my opinion. Uh, Science Spirits wants Kevin to let Fox go. He says people are thirsty and they pay these dumb prices. Indeed. Jason says the scalpers took the inventory. Yeah, I will say the way Sony did it, it was kind of a random lottery situation. Everybody queued up before the time started, and then you got randomly placed in line. We do know Ezekiel, the Chicago Retro Ranger. I don't know if he's watching right now, but he was the only person I know that actually got one of these, right? So congratulations to him. He picked it up almost immediately. I have a couple videos on this launch and the news around it, and there were quite a few people in there that did get it. So it's pretty cool. And Kevin has a super chat here. Thanks again, Kevin. Really appreciate it. And he says, how many days missing till you're declared dead? That is a good question, Kevin. I am not sure around that one. I would imagine you have to have somebody file the claim for you. Uh, Science Spirits says now we know Ezekiel is a scalper. No, I think it's for him, but you never know. Let's see. Marine 50 says my wife won a PS5 with a $25 raffle right before Christmas. My son was so excited. Yeah, that's awesome. So that's the end of the crazy PlayStation 5 news. And of course, we had the launch of Zelda and Echoes of Wisdom. And I'm a long time Zelda fan. I mean, I'm from the time I was a kid, The Legend of Zelda, the OG on the NES, that is like my favorite game of all time. I played the hell out of that thing as a kid. I did a report in the 6th grade on The Legend of Zelda. I created my own manuals, maps, everything you can imagine. Back in the day when I was a kid, I was just obsessed with Zelda. I even had the CDI. I bought the CDI when it came out just so I could play those 2 Zelda games that they released on there, and they were not great, but I was so obsessed with Zelda, I just had to have those. And so I was really looking forward to the launch of this game, and of course, I streamed my first impressions of this, and haven't really had a chance to pick it up since, so I'm reserving my overall judgment, but it's by far, I think, the slowest start to a Zelda game I've ever experienced. It is very, very slow. I think I played for upwards of an hour, right around an hour, and I only got to the start of where you actually get to play the game. It is a slog through dialogue and cutscenes and basically training. It is so slow. This is not one you just get to pick up and play. I mean, you think back to that original Legend of Zelda, you go into a cave, the guy says, here's a sword, and then you're just off to go figure it out. And that is not this. It is a slog. So uh it does look beautiful. This screenshot here doesn't do it justice. One of the things I like about it, the lighting effects are really good for a Nintendo Switch game. It also, in the cutscenes and some scenes, it'll take this lower camera angle and zoom in and give you this really cinematic view. And for the first time, I think you really get Zelda in layers. So you can jump, similar, I guess, to the two Link's Awakening. There is actually two-dimensional side-scrolling gameplay in this as well, so it's kind of cool how it switches around. There's a lot of new elements to this, so hopefully that translates well when I get a chance to play this more. But right now, my impression is of it, the intro is far, 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 far too slow. It also feels way more like a puzzler than a traditional, uh, like adventure game like Zelda, the original, all the other Zeldas, right? This is a lot of figuring out how to use the objects that you can clone in your wand to get over things, through things. There is some battling, and of course, later when you actually get the sword, you'll be able to do more. But at the start of the game, it's primarily a puzzler, which I enjoy those too. But it's not exactly fast-paced, fun action. So that's my kind of 2 cents on that. But anytime there's a big Zelda, or a Zelda release, that's I love that. It's big news to me. And so this came out literally the same day the PS5 pre-sale launched. So September 26th was a huge day. And another big day on September 26th, I believe that's when it released, was Wrath of Cobra. This is the 80s style, 90s style beat 'em up of G.I. Joe, the ones that everybody has wanted since they were a little kid and never got. They finally brought it to us. And Michael B streamed this for about a little over an hour. So if you guys are interested in checking that out, Cool Toy also has a really good video on this where he talks about his review on it. Looks like a ton of fun. I believe later, as of right now, it doesn't feature multiplayer, but or online multiplayer, I should say. But when the console editions are released early 2025, that's when the multiplayer will be released alongside of it, the online multiplayer. So definitely check that out if you're interested. And here is a quick shot of what that looks like. Looks like a ton of fun, pretty in-depth. I also played Karate Kid this week for the first time, the Karate Kid Street Rumble. Fantastic. It is a lot of fun. That came out last week. If you guys are interested, it's another 90s style beat 'em up with the Karate Kid. It is actually a really good one in my opinion. So I know I've seen some other mixed reviews, but I enjoyed it quite a bit. So let's talk arcade 1-up. So unless you are living under a rock, and let's see, I'm going to move this around because I just realized Cyrus is like covering me up. So unless you've been living under a rock or you don't get email and you don't get spam from Arcade 1-up, you maybe missed the quote unquote big announcement. And of course, I made it so it's super hard to read here, but it says, "Hey, Arcade 1-up fans, in case you didn't know, their 6th anniversary, their 6th birthday of Arcade 1-up just occurred. And they said, we are celebrating 6 amazing years thanks to you. Get ready because something big in all capital letters and bold is on the way. Stay tuned for epic surprises and announcements. It's going to be awesome." That's what they say. And of course, across the top, it says 6 years reliving the glory days of pixels. So what is this something big that is coming our way? Of course, there's a lot of hints that could be leading us into what this is, possibly. Earlier this week, they posted a 6-year video montage on their Instagram. And unfortunately, it was to their Instagram story, which only lasts 24 hours because I wanted to show it to you guys, but I did not save it. But you can see this video on their Instagram now, but what you can't see is what they did in their story. And that is, if you watch the video, it was dropped with another video right before it so that they connected. And if you swiped right and took a look at that other video, you were treated to a shot of a family, 2 kids and a dad, playing Rampage. And of course, it was a repost from another fan of Arcade 1-up's reel. But Arcade 1-up had placed a question on it. And it said, what game should Arcade 1-up release next? And so if you took the first 6 years, you look at the email and the big, and combined with that reel, are they hinting that we could be looking at a Rampage Deluxe, maybe a 3-player Rampage Deluxe. Of course, a reminder, the email went out. You've got the 2 Rampage characters prominently featured. And you got that little thread of Instagram story. So that's certainly one theory. Of course, another theory that I've heard is Big Blue. What's big? What other announcement could be big than a Big Blue Deluxe? Could it have Alien versus Predator on it, like that release leak earlier this year, but actually be Big Blue as the marquee, the Street Fighter marquee, but have Alien AVP on it and potentially be a 3-player cab? I doubt it would be a 3-player cab, but could it? And hat tip to 19K Fox. This is his thumbnail from his video when this was released. So make sure you guys check that out. And I know every one of you know who he is. If you don't, you must be sleeping. But so could the big announcement be a new Big Blue? Possibly. Another theory I heard today, which I thought was interesting, but highly, highly, highly unlikely, but still interesting given the events of this year in home arcade, and that is Zoltar. Could Arcade 1-Up be making a 3/4 scale Zoltar cabinet? Of course, what is something big other than the movie Big? So I doubt this is coming, especially given New Wave Toys has been working with the people that, and I'm drawing a blank on that company's name, that actually own the license to this, and what a big deal it was that New Wave Toys was able to build the animatronics. Hardly think there's any chance on God's green earth that Arcade 1-Up is going to produce 3/4 scale Zoltar, but I liked the theory laying into the word big. I think the fact that Arcade 1-Up loaded all of that with that announcement with pixels and talking about the games, I think whatever the announcement is, it's likely game related. Uh, but what I think most likely this big announcement's going to be, and it's probably the same thing you guys think it's going to be. It's going to be the stuff that's already been leaked. Of course, the claw machine, the Pac-Man Plus Deluxe. I think this is essentially part of their big release. I hope there's something else. I really do. I hope there's something. But I think they know how hyped people are for the claw machine. There's a lot of buzz around it, even though it's somewhat polarizing. There's a lot of people that are hyped for that, and it's pretty interesting. Of course, there's also the photo booth, but we need to remember that the photo booth is not new. This same product has been out before at $50 cheaper and actually branded with Polaroid. So here they've lost the Polaroid branding and raised the price. But my understanding is this was highly popular when it first came out, was very hard to get, and there's a lot of people that really like this product. So if you're interested, hey, it is coming, I believe. I saw on GameFly they had a leak for this, which is all gone now. After I posted all that about the release date of this, Arcade 1-Up had them take it all down. But the photo booth was scheduled to come out in October on the website. So this may be available sooner than everything else gets released. If you want to spend $400 on this what is essentially a cell phone with a Polaroid camera built into it, I guess. I don't know what it is. I mean, I know what it is, but I don't know how they get up to that price. But there you go. That's really it. So not a whole lot of possibilities in my opinion. I think I hope we get to see something like Rampage or Big Blue. But I think it's going to be the two things we know, which is the claw machine and the Pac-Man Plus. I think there's been some sloppiness from Alliance Entertainment and what's coming out. So all these sites had kind of the same info on them, mirroring each other. There was no secret third cab or third product. So I don't think we're going to see anything besides that, but we can all hope, right? So in the end, I think the most exciting thing we got coming from us is, of course, from Arcade 1UP competitors, not the company itself. And so looking forward to Glenn getting out his Build-A-Cade Extreme or Build-A-Cade XL, whatever he ends up calling it, the Vipercade, whatever he names it. Looking forward to that coming out. And of course, we know Media 1UP is also releasing something that should be very interesting to all of us here in I think I saw a post saying Q1 of 2025, at least an announcement. So we should be finding that out sometime in the next, 6 months. So the long wait of knowing what's actually coming may finally be fulfilled. So we've got two great competitors and coming with something great. Eventually, we'll get New Wave toys. We have the rumor of that Centipede XL from Basic Fun. So the next several months could be crazy in home arcade. While Arcade 1UP is busy shilling more Pac-Mans, the other guys are bringing fire. So should be fun. Chris says, it's not, but I immediately thought of Zoltar when I saw the big and bold. Yep. I'd rather get a Zohar machine instead equipped with a Sharon Peters mannequin inside. Okay. Um, I like Cobra Cade. Yep. Uh, waiting for 4K ALU too. Yeah, so I'll be interested to see if that moves forward. The news that the ALP coming to not ALP, the ALU coming to Sam's Club, which was supposed to be version 2.0, right? With that better processor uh, to enable, better UI, but little better performance on the existing system is not happening now. It's just going to be the standard ALU. That's interesting, right? Because what happened there? Why not able to make that 2.0 version? Which then really draws into question whether the 4K is anywhere near reality at this point. And so, be interesting to see if the 4K ALU actually ever gets released. Obviously, their focus has been on the pinball, and now that they're putting that behind them with that working decently, the flipper lag is all but acceptable or all but gone, and it's really acceptable now. Wish we'd get the Zen games at 4K, but I'm doubting that will happen. But maybe now they can turn their attention towards the ALU 4K. But if they're smart, my opinion, they'd stay away from it because I don't think it was. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what reception it'll be met with, especially with Glenn dropping something and all these other competitors. I find it hard to believe that is going to be of interest to people. You've got Glenn's coming out. You've got the Nova Blast, and you got potentially whatever Basic Fun and Media 1UP are doing, in addition to the Sente and all these other big things coming out. That new deck from X Arcade. There's so many things happening that seems really, really not a great time for At Games to drop an ALU 4K. Doug, don't say ALP. I'm still sensitive from the other night of getting screwed on AFM Premium Deluxe. Well, that's unfortunate. Sorry you weren't able to pick one of those up or whatever. But that's the news for the week, and really the big news, obviously, the stuff really wanted to share was, of course, the Give the Kids the World village with Steps. She's out at Purge again, giving her time. So I hope you guys can, if you can afford it, you will find it in your hearts to give to those kids. I know there's a lot of people right now suffering with the hurricanes. There's a lot of flooding throughout like the Tennessee and other areas. And so I know you guys, a lot of people in this community are busy dealing with that. And so know that we're thinking of you in this time, because I know that's not great. Obviously, nobody wants to have to deal with that. So stay safe, stay dry, and hopefully not too many home arcades got destroyed. Stupid Fat Hobbit says, "What skins do you see coming from ad games for 2025? Indiana Jones, Medieval Madness, Marvel, Aliens." Well, first of all, I would love for them to do an Indiana Jones. I think that would be fantastic. Would have been awesome if they announced it this year too, with that new game coming out on Xbox, which looks amazing. Um, I honestly don't know. I'm wondering if the Marvel and Star Wars will ever come out, given the arcade 1UP stuff. Um, I hope they do, but I don't know what kind of deal Arcade 1UP has on those 3 to obviously they don't, well, say that, right? They had AFM and AFM just came out earlier this year. So never mind. Obviously, maybe they can do it. Um, but obviously, if they want winners, Indiana Jones, Marvel, Star Wars would be huge. I would love to see more horror themed. See a South Park table would be really cool. Um, there's so many IPs that Zen has access to that there is just way too many under the sun. Kevin says Indiana Jones or Back to the Future. Yeah, I would love to have seen a Back to the Future. Probably more than Jurassic Park, in my opinion, especially given they already have a dinosaur table. Is in my card, added payment info, hit purchase, and sold out. Wow, that sucks. Twilight Zone, yeah, that would have been great as a table. That's the one I really wanted. But since Adam's Family was first, I jumped on that because I figured it wasn't going to get any cheaper than it was with that pre-order. Carlo says, I know a lot of people wanted it. JP is the featured deal during this nod. Yeah, obviously Jurassic Park is a huge IP, but love to Back to the Future. Not that I'd have bought it 'cause I already own one, but you know how it is. Still laughing at the cancellation of pre-orders. So thanks for dropping by. Do the evolution. Laugh out loud. Scalpers denied. Yeah, yeah. I have no love lost for a scalper that got screwed, but I know that there's likely legit customers, legit fans that were planning on opening that and using that got screwed on the cancellations, and I feel for them. I don't feel for any stupid scalper, but it is what it is. Just gonna order the standard and install the SSF myself. Hardware I can do blindfolded. If it was software, I'd be screwed. Yeah, that's where I'm at. I need to order the SSF kit and install it myself. I still haven't done it. Everybody talks about how great it is. I just couldn't justify spending $400 on it. So at some point I will. Great price this weekend, but after the PlayStation stuff, I'm definitely not into spending a bunch of money right now. But very interesting. Carlos says my credit card said no. I said yes, and Sony said no. Kevin says, yeah, depending on your bank settings, your transactions might automatically be denied, and you'll have to tell them it's not fraud. Yeah, and the problem with this one, Kevin, is it wasn't instantaneous. So a lot of people, when they filled it out, got the fraud almost immediately. They were able to approve it, and the bank still went through with the transaction, and everything was fine. But the people that seemed to be affected had the order went through. They got their confirmation email, and it was entirely the next day when they got notices from Sony that the charge was reversed and they canceled the order on them, which is just insane. Scion Spirit says, James, did you get a Pro or Slim? I got a Slim, but in the 30th, but I also brought the Standard Edition Pro because I'm stupid. because I didn't even want the thing. I don't think it's powerful enough, but I don't know. FOMO got the better of me, so I bought both of them, which is why I spent entirely too much money. Especially because I'm probably just going to leave the Slim in a not open it. Right, it's just going to be a collector's piece for me. I do have an extra controller, so I'll probably end up giving that controller away, the 30th anniversary DualSense, on uh, the stream when I hit 1,000 subs. Which, by the way, I'm climbing up there. One of my videos today went nuts, and so I'm 128 away from the 1,000 mark. So got 128 to hit, and because my goal is to hit 1,000 by the end of the year, so I got 3 months to hit 128 or 128 more subs, and then we'll be doing a fun giveaway stream. Kevin Clausen says, "Oh wow," and I just don't get the idea of a PS5 Pro with such a limited library of 20 games. I couldn't yet. So the sad thing is I totally agree with you. I also don't think even if they had 100 games that it's worth it, because quite honestly, I never got the PS4 Pro because it wasn't enough of a change for me to care. It would have been one thing back then if I was really like, oh, I got to have 4K, but I was playing 4K on the PC. I didn't really care. Um, so wasn't too worried about it. And obviously the PS5 to me looks great. I play it on my 4K Asus ROG Strict monitor, which does like 240 hertz, so I get as many frames as I can throw at this thing. And the PS5 looks great. Like, I can't imagine it looking, and performing much better than it already does for the games that are on it. And knowing that it's worse, it's not like you're even guaranteed to get 4K at 60 frames per second. Of course, they like to throw that out there, but if you actually read what is PS5 Pro enhanced, you can go from 1080p to 1440p and be considered PS5 Pro enhanced as long as you don't lose frame rates. Likewise, you could be 1440p now at 30 frames per second and go 1440p and get up to 60 frames per second, and you're PS5 Pro enhanced. There's literally no threshold to say if you can actually get to 4K 60 frames per second. And so you have to wonder, are the developers, because that's the reason we're not getting true 4K 60 frames per second now. It's not that the system's not capable of it. It's that people don't want to code to optimize their games for it. It takes too long. We know the rocky road that like Ubisoft and all these companies have had. I mean, shoot, Ubisoft hasn't had a successful game all year. Whether you're talking about the failure of Prince of Persia, you're talking about the failure of Sea of Thieves, which is possibly one of the boringest games I've ever played. The mishap or commercial failure that was Star Wars Outlaws, which they're trying to relaunch for some silly reason, as if that's going to just suddenly make the game better. And then their new one now has been delayed until next year. So, it's pretty crazy what's happening with these companies because they're rushing out garbage just to get it out there, which is we've all known they've been doing. And now big AAA titles are failing as a result. And so we really think when they can't even get an unbuggy game out that they're going to take extra time to make sure these things are optimized to run at 4K 60 frames per second. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. Which is why PlayStation and Sony are so reliant on DLSS, or I'm sorry, the PlayStation PSSR or whatever they call it, right? They want that AI enhancement because hopefully the AI will pick up the slack for the lack of development time on these things. And sure, if you're looking for really sharp leaves 400 meters behind your character, yeah, it's probably worth the money. But if you're like anybody else and you're playing and you're focused on your character and the dangers in front of you, you're not going to notice those sharp leaves, are you? So Pretty silly in my opinion, but I'll reserve judgment until I get it. Um, I'll take the bullet for this one and try to do a review on it. I'm sure there'll be a crap ton of reviews on it as well. A lot of people, of course, pointing out that you can get a PC. What spec PCs do people use for running OTG on the 4K? Going to upgrade from my HD one. I would imagine, honestly, Chris, you could probably do it 2060, 2080 Ti or higher. You should have no problem because I can push 4K on those on that old of a card, no problem. Obviously, a 3080 Ti, probably any of the 40 series is not going to have a problem running a Zen table at 4K, not even close. Because I think you'd be fine on a 2080 in my opinion. I don't want a Pro except for GTA 6. Yeah, so we'll see, right? Obviously, GTA 6 is what 2026, getting really close to the PlayStation 6 at that point. I'm stupid too, so I picked up a standard Pro. Yeah, that's exactly what I did. And I think it was made the worse. I think I told you guys I had walked into a store and found the stupid disk drive because physical forever, baby. And so I bought that in the hopes that I would actually get the 30th anniversary, knowing there was no chance. And of course, then I used it to justify myself. Oh, well, I already have the disk drive. I might as well buy the PS5 Pro because that's the kind of logic my brain did to get me to spend money I shouldn't have spent on it, but whatever. Um, Carlos says he runs a 12900K 3080 Ti, but honestly, I prefer native now that Zen is fixed. So there you go. Science Spirit's sucker for new consoles. Me too. 47 and up for 4K Zen. That's that's pretty high. I'm just saying I probably more than you truly need, but 47 I guess is a lower priced current model. Because obviously the 2080 Ti, the 3080 Ti's were the top of the line other than the 90 series. Thanks, Carl. I was looking at something similar but wasn't sure. Maybe the PS5 Pro is real 4K and not 1440p like ad games. Unfortunately, Kevin, it's mixed, just like the ad games. I just run native and VPix USB. Yeah, I'm excited for the VPix USB to come out. Uh, Sony likes 864p. Okay. Uh, let's see. They're shortchanging you. If they never make another game again, there are still enough games out there to keep me busy for the rest of my life. Absolutely, totally agree with that. In fact, the fact that a lot of these games are failing means I don't have to buy them and I can focus on the back catalog of games I'm sitting on. I still have Alan Wake to finish the first one, though I have the remake version, and then I have to play Alan Wake 2. Like I mean, forget about all the NES games I've never finished or started for that matter. Like I have so many games I got to get caught up on. A lot of games I want to play, never enough time to play them, right? 1 billion 18 wait, 1,518,000,000 point game and World Cup soccer. There you go. What such a great table. Papa Brad is a shark. Papa Brad, they're holding World Cup here in Kansas City. S- you need to tell at games they need to come do an event uh showing off that table. They need to make a special skin for the real World Cup and come out to like Kansas City and others and I think there's two other cities at least uh and do events and show their World Cup tables off. Papa Brad is a shark. Keep in mind that system performance when it comes to SoC vs dedicated CPU GPU is different when compared to personal computers versus console. 100%. Pinball FX in the cabinet mode is best playing V pinball. You need a 4070 if you want 4K and somewhat smooth gameplay. Native on the 4KP is almost better than OTG. Yeah. I love the Alan Wake. Such a treat. Yeah, it looks. I started playing it years and years ago on what was it, Xbox, and got a little ways into it, and then of course got distracted and never came back to it. And so now that it's been redone for the PS5, I have that. I've got the Alan Wake 2 physical pre-ordered from, of course, Limited Run Games, which is annoying. I wish they would just sell that stuff in stores, but you know, it is what it is. Just started playing. RoboCop is fantastic. That is such. If you're a fan of the movies, like a real fan of the movies, it is a living movie. It's so good. Um, Love that they got all the real people back for some of the real people. It just plays so great. If you guys haven't played that, you're missing out. That's a great game. Alrighty. Well, we're half hour over when I normally go, and I really appreciate you guys coming by again. Really appreciate you guys supporting Steps and supporting Give Kids the World Village. I'm just a tongue twister for me. Like I said, appreciate you watching. If you would smash the like button on your way out. Again, getting close to that 1,000 mark. I got under 128 to go. So feel free to share share with your friends. Tell everybody they're invited. And remember, until next time, and until I can find the link, till next time, have fun.